In this video, I will show and explain how you can edit and control different parts of a subscription in the Seal subscription app. As a merchant, you have full control over each subscription in your shop. You can edit almost every part of each subscription in your shop. After you open the app, head over to the subscriptions. This is where you can see a list of your subscriptions. I only have 2 subscriptions here, but you will most likely have lots of subscriptions. Please know that all personal information you see in this video is made up, as it is not real, including the shipping address and credit card info. None of it is real, as if it would be real, I wouldn't be able to show it to you because of all the regulations. You can find specific subscriptions by searching for them with a search bar at the top of the list. You can see I have just filtered out the subscriptions which contain the name John. I will now reset the search by clicking the X button on the right side of the search field. You can also show the upcoming subscriptions. These are subscriptions that have an upcoming payment, sorted ascending by the payment date. This means that the top subscription is the one that has the payment scheduled in the nearest future. You can also see the subscriptions with a failed payment. You will see subscriptions here where the automatic payment failed. The payment can fail if the customer doesn't have enough funds on their credit card, if the credit card expired, or something else. You can also see subscriptions with pending payment. These are the recurring invoice subscriptions for which the system already sent an email to the customer but is now waiting for the customer to pay the invoice. A thing to note here is that this is only applicable for recurring invoice subscriptions. This tab won't show any auto-charging subscriptions as they charge the customers automatically. You can also see paused and cancelled subscriptions. These 2 tabs show subscriptions that are paused or cancelled. Now let's go back to the list of all subscriptions. You can see some basic info about each subscription here, such as customer name, email address, the date and time when the subscription was created, total value of the items in the subscription, and whether the subscription is an auto-charging subscription or a recurring invoices subscription. You can always delete subscriptions from your shop by marking the checkboxes in front of them and clicking the delete button. I won't click the delete button now as I need these 2 subscriptions. Now, let's click on one of the subscriptions and check its details. One thing you might not notice immediately is the cancel subscription button, which is located just below the ID of the subscription. You can use this button to cancel the subscription through the Seal subscriptions app. The other way of cancelling or pausing subscriptions would be to go into the customer portal and click the cancel or pause buttons there. A thing to note here is that even if you cancel a subscription, you can always reactivate it if you click the cancel subscription button. It will change itself into the reactivate subscription button, which you can click to reactivate the subscription. In the first card here, we see an overview of the subscription. This is where you will see the status of the subscription, the date and time when it was created, its delivery and billing interval, the day when you want to charge the customer, the minimum required number of payments, and other important information. There are also a few useful buttons here. The first one is the View Initial Order button, which allows you to check the initial order which was placed in your shop when the subscription was created. The second one allows you to resend the new subscription email. You can use this if your customer accidentally deleted the initial email and wants to access their subscription without logging into their account. This email contains the so-called magic link, which allows customers to view and edit their subscription without being logged into their account. The third button will lead you to the customer portal, where you will see the portal just like the customer will see it. And the fourth button allows you to copy the so-called magic link in case you want to send it to the customer manually. As mentioned, this link allows customers to access and edit their subscription without being logged in, so make sure you don't share this link with any third party. The next thing we will check is the billing schedule. The billing schedule represents the schedule when the customer will get charged for their subscription. Heads up, when I was recording the video, it just so happened that I only had one scheduled billing attempt. When the subscription is created, the system starts scheduling billing attempts one by one. So after time, you will see more and more scheduled billing attempts here like this. The system will also delete non-processed billing attempts when you or the customer cancel or pause the subscription. But if you or the customer reactivate it again, it will start scheduling the billing attempts again, one by one. The same happens when you or the customer change the delivery or billing interval in the subscription. Okay, let's jump back to the main video. You can reschedule each billing attempt manually by clicking on the Reschedule button. You can pick any date and time here as long as they are in future. The date and time that you set here are in your local time zone. An important thing here to note is if you reschedule one of the billing attempts, the system won't also reschedule any other billing attempts automatically. It will keep them how they are. If you want to keep the correct interval between the rescheduled and existing attempts, you have to also reschedule the other attempts manually. However, when the system will schedule the next billing attempt, the one which isn't yet scheduled and isn't on this list, it will use the last billing attempt on this list and schedule it according to the subscription interval. This is a very important piece of information and you should remember it. Let's move on. You can also trigger the system to process a specific charge now. To do this, just click on the Charge Now button. You can also skip a specific billing attempt by clicking the Skip button. This is useful when a customer calls you and asks if they can skip their next billing attempt. You just open their subscription and click this button. A customer can also skip and reschedule their billing attempts by themselves in the customer portal. And another useful thing here is the Place Order Now button. When you click this button, the system will add another billing attempt into the schedule with the date and time set to the current date and time. The system will then process the attempt in a few minutes, and if the payment is taken successfully, an order will be placed in your shop and the attempt will be marked as completed. Now, let's check a few other things. On the right hand side, you can see some customer info such as their name, email, and address. Below that, there is a payment method info. Now, if it happens that a payment fails, the Seal subscription app can automatically send an email to the customer about that failed payment with instructions on how to update their payment method. You can also send them an email with a link where they can update their payment method simply by clicking the Send Update Email button. Below the payment method info, you can set various admin notes. These notes won't be seen by your customers, which means that you can use them for anything that you might want to note about this particular subscription. And below that card, there is a subscription log. The subscription log contains any important events about the subscription, such as an automated delivery price recalculation, an applied product swap, an automatic interval change, and others. We are adding more and more info in the subscription log, as it is very useful to know what was going on with a particular subscription in the past. Now, let's check how we can edit the products and other info in the subscription. One of the first things you might want to change here is the delivery interval. You can easily change its frequency and type here. You can also change the subscription to a prepaid subscription. If I turn this on, I get an option to set a different billing interval for the subscription. I have already explained how the prepaid subscriptions work in another video, so I suggest that you check my video where I explain how to create a prepaid subscription rule. The link to the video is in the description of this one. I will uncheck this button for now. Below this is the customer info, where you can change everything from email to name to address and so on. The fields here are pretty self-explanatory. In the card below this one, we can change the billing info, such as minimum number of payments, maximum number of payments, and the day on which the customer should get charged. As I already explained in other videos, the minimum number of payment fields represents how many times you want the customer to pay before they will be able to pause or cancel their subscription. The maximum number of payments field represents a number of payments after which you want to automatically expire the subscription. And of course, the day on which the customer should get charged represents the day of the month or week when you want to charge the customer. I also explained this in detail in one of my other videos. A link is in the description below. And onto the next card. This next card allows you to remove, add and edit products in the subscription. To set a custom price for the product, just click on the Set Price and Quantity button. A pop-up will show up where you can set custom price, quantity, and even set the app to change the price after a specific payment. You can also add new products to the subscription by clicking on the Select Products button. And to remove the products, mark them with a checkbox and click on the Delete button that shows up. And below the items card, you can change the delivery cost for the subscription. After you apply the changes, make sure to check the box where it says that the customer agrees with all the changes and save the subscription. Okay, at the bottom of my screen, a little box has popped up saying saved, so I know the changes have been saved by the system. And to go back, just scroll back up and click on the button with the ID of your subscription. Let's recap. In this video, you learned how to filter your subscriptions, how to find a subscription, delete a subscription, reschedule billing attempts, set order notes, change the delivery interval, edit products in the subscription, and more. Now open the Seal subscription app and edit a subscription in your shop. Have a great day.